to share. The other day, I posted a video of my friend's 2014 Ford Focus, little 2.0, um, and he over revved it to like over 7,000 RPM. Those little engines are not made to rev that high, um, and it started spitting oil out of the little seals that go around the VVT solenoids on the passenger side of the valve cover, spitting it out, and it made a mess, and it was spitting out. I took out the oil dipstick, and it was spitting out um, oil through the oil dipstick with pressure, and I mean they have blow by, textbook definition of blow by. He blew the seals, and so he's like, I'm gonna take it to the dealers because I told him that, hey, it's the right way to do that. It's only got like 45,000 miles on it because it was his mom's and stuff. So he was like, I'm gonna take it to the dealership, and stuff, because I told him, it's like, the right way to do that is to put new rings and bearings on it, or put another engine on it. But he's like, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'll just get me a new car. But then he decided to say, you know what? He called me the next day. He's like, I'm gonna take it to the dealership. Takes it to the dealership. Takes it to the dealership, Ford dealership, and he tells them, it's like, not just, it wasn't just me. It was me and my buddy who's been an automotive tech. Actually, he's an aircraft mechanic by trade. Went to um, aerospace university to become an aircraft technician, and then he got hurt or something like that. But and he's been turning wrenches forever. And we both, saw it. It's like, Jesus, this thing's spitting out oil through the dipstick, and then you blow your hair dry through if you took the oil cap off. And so I sent, he goes to the dealership right away. That was last week. They gave him the car today. They charged them for a valve cover gasket and one sensor. I think it's one of the VVT sensors that went bad on it. Charged him $1,600 for that little 4-cylinder valve cover gasket. And so then they proceeded to tell them, it's like, oh no, there was nothing wrong with the engine. It's just, it's just your friend probably installed it and it's been leaking ever since. It's like right away, this people at the dealership decide to, without any proof, accuse the previous mechanic of causing a problem. They were saying that I did the job wrong, and that's what caused the leak, which was a lie because we tested the car. It was when I did the valve cover gasket was previously to my friend over revving it and then blowing out those seals and causing the blow by. So this was like 2 weeks ago or more, probably a month, like a month ago, and he over revved it like a week and a half ago or something like that. And then, so my friend's like, no, that's not what happened. Because I looked at it the day after he did the job, and then a week after he did the job, everything was fine. No leaks, no nothing. And the only time I saw the leaks was after I over revved it, when I saw he told him it's out in the parking lot. So they're still, saying that it was the fault of me, my fault, even though they have no proof at all, zero. And we told them there's blow by. So my friend calls me tonight. It's like, hey, they say they spent an hour cleaning the oil and all that stuff, and they cleaned everything and blah blah blah. And so they so he opens up. It's like, hey, wait a minute. There's oil. There's oily residue here on the coils and around the little gaskets on the VVT solenoids. And it's like, if it's just take out the oil dipstick and see, if it's spitting oil out, just get a piece of white paper or white paper towel and put it over the oil dipstick tube, and it should not spit out oil. So, you know, he said, I'm going to take it tomorrow and take it back tomorrow. It's like, listen, you just drove it back from the dealership. That's not enough time. And what they're going to say, and this people, I've never seen anybody lie more than automotive dealerships. That's why they have such a bad reputation, because they got a pile, douchebags working at dealerships. Unfortunately, then they have an opportunity to make customers, but they unequivocally, it's always been the case. They think that being a douchebag, they have competitions who lies the most, and who cons and who overcharges more. It's always been like that, charging $1,000 for a wax job before they call it a weather protection service, just a wax job, man. They charge you $1,000 for that shit. So it's the quintessential, I don't know, fuckery that goes on at dealerships, and they're stupid, because if they were just honest to people, they would get all the fucking business in the world. There's no need for that. If I'm a manager at a dealership, I would tell them, I catch you telling one lie, and I'm going to make you call that customer and tell them in their face that you lied to them, or you get the fuck out of my dealerships. And I might even sue you for fucking with my reputation. You can't do that to people. So, here's the problem, and people need to understand this, that the people in the automotive industry, the ones at the top, the management, you're not being cute when you're running game on your technicians. You're being stupid. Guess why there's a massive exodus of automotive technicians? Massive exodus of automotive technicians. And there has been for the last, I want to say, 5 to 10 years. Massive. It used to be where there were technicians out there that were doing great work, that they were working for quality companies that respected the work and the effort of their technicians. There were technicians out there making $150,000 a year, no problem. And they earned every penny of that. You got to understand, you need, a technician nowadays, in order to make it, you need at least 10 years of experience. You need $50,000 in tools. You need, to be constantly updating in your knowledge. Stay up to date on everything. It's not one model. Even if you specialize in one brand, that brand has a bunch of models, a bunch of different models. Each one has their own quirks and their own service specifications. So, if you're out there, you're a manager at an automotive shop or an automotive dealership, wood shop, combination, however it is, you need to treat, first of all, your customers with respect, but most of all, you need to treat your technicians. The ones, I understand there's a filling out process and an assessment process to see how good your technician is when he first comes in. That's anywhere you go. Once you know that this guy is good, or girl, whoever's doing your teching, you need to not run game on them. Don't do it. Automotive technicians are becoming rare. Why? Because they got tired of being robbed. They got tired of being told, oh, this job only pays 3 hours, when you know full well that job pays 10 hours. Okay? They have no problem selling, this service advisors, and let me tell you something. I've known some service advisors, I can't stand them. Service advisors out there lying their ass off and selling people shit they don't need. When I'm back in the day when I worked for shops, I told them they don't need that. They don't need those brakes. They don't need that rotor. They don't need this. Whatever it was, don't worry about it. Sell it. Like that. It's just flat out stealing and lying. And they do that. They do this all day long. And then they tell the customers, we'll give you a 50,000 mile warranty. The customer goes home, yeah, I got a 50,000 mile. Yeah, on the gasket and the labor. Yeah. They don't specify the really douchey about it. So when you got a tech out there that has put in his time, he's got his experience, he's got his tools, he knows what he's doing, he's a professional. You need to treat him like a king. And this bullshit about, you charging $150 an hour and giving them $26 an hour, $35 an hour, it needs to end. Because it's not it's not hours by the clock. It's hours by what the book says. And if the book says some of these estimates are stupid. If the book says 3 hours, but you know full well there's a dash that needs to come out of a Nissan, a Ford, whatever car it is, that needs an entire dash needs to come out to put an evaporator in. You know full well that's not a 3-hour job. Okay, I don't care what that book says, what that old data, whoever it is that you're getting your estimates from. You know full well that's not a 3-hour job. Do not sell that. You're going to sell it for what it takes. It takes 10 hours, you're going to sell it for 10 hours. If you can't sell it for 10 hours, they need to go down the road. Because, what that means is if you're paying the technician, $35 an hour, and you're charging $125, $150 flat rate, that technician, if you're gonna make him do a full dash removal for an evaporator job for $90 to $100, $105. Are you serious? You have any idea how hard it is? He's better off going telemarketing, going work for $18 an hour somewhere. Better off doing that. He doesn't have to own $30, $40, $50,000 worth of tools, bust his knuckles. No, it's just not worth it. Because you gotta understand, that's why they're leaving you. That's why they're going somewhere else. Because you're a cheap fuck. That's why. A con man. And people get tired of that. That's why nowadays you go to shops and you can't find technicians even at dealerships. Look what just happened to my friend. They misdiagnosed it, and then blame somebody else. They have this incompetent assholes out there at dealerships now, and the horror stories are from here to Hong Kong. And they know full well that people don't have time to take them to court. They know full well they don't have the money to go hire a private attorney. They got some attorneys out there doing suing mechanics, but they're not many. There's just a couple of them, and unless it's something big, and unless it's a big shop, they're not going for it. And if it's something, they're just not going to go for it. So at the end of the day, if you want to keep your mechanics, if you want to continue to keep, your business, without technicians, there is no auto repair businesses. If you don't pay your technicians, if you have this attitude, well, I own the business and I own the machinery and I own the signs and I pay for the rent and stuff. Okay, fantastic. Let's see how much money you can make with the machinery, the site, and the sign without any technicians. Go ahead, put the cars on the lifts and put some under the sign and park them around the parking lot without anybody working on them. Let's see how much money you make, because nobody's going to fix them. Without automotive technicians, there is no auto repair industry. Period. You're fucked. It is a very hard job. Very, very hard job. And if on top of screwing your customers, you're going to screw the people that are doing the repair, good luck, man. So, take note. You got to stop fucking with people, especially with your mechanics.